Have you ever paused to wonder why some women, even past the age of 70, still cast their gaze toward companionship with men? Picture this. A silver-haired woman sits on her porch, the golden hues of a late afternoon sun painting her face, her eyes alight with a quiet yearning. It's not just a fleeting whim, it's a deep, pulsing desire that defies the assumptions of youth-centric romance. For many, the longing for connection doesn't fade like the pages of an old book. It evolves, deepens, and blooms into something richer, something more profound. In this journey, we'll unravel 5 heartfelt reasons why women over 70 continue to seek men, peeling back the layers of their motivations in their golden years. From the ache for emotional intimacy to the thrill of rediscovery, these revelations might just reshape how you view love, passion, and fulfillment as the years stack higher. Stick with me until the end, because as we explore each reason, you'll see that aging isn't about surrendering to stillness. It's about embracing a vibrant, soul-stirring chapter of life. Number 1. The hunger for emotional connection. Imagine a woman named Eleanor, her hands weathered from decades of tending to a bustling family, her eyes carrying the weight of joys and sorrows etched across 70-plus years. For her, and countless others like her, seeking a man isn't about filling an empty chair at the dinner table, it's about finding a soul who truly sees her. At this stage, life has unfolded in all its messy, beautiful complexity, children raised, careers forged, and losses mourned. What remains is a craving for something deeper than small talk, a companion who listens with intent, who understands the stories behind her laughter and the silences that follow. In their younger years, relationships might have revolved around practicalities, building a home, raising kids, or chasing financial security. But now, it's different. Picture Eleanor savoring a steaming cup of chamomile tea on a quiet morning, the steam curling upward as she shares a memory with a man who remembers she prefers honey over sugar. Or imagine her settling into a rocking chair at dusk, his voice a steady comfort as they unravel the day's thoughts. These moments, small, tender, and unguarded, carry a weight that grand gestures can't match. For women who've lost a spouse or spent years alone, this connection becomes a lifeline, a way to feel visible again in a world that often overlooks the elderly. Aging can cloak you in invisibility, a shadow that creeps in with every passing year. But a man who notices when her smile falters, who asks about the song she hums under her breath, or who cherishes the way she recounts her childhood summers, he becomes a mirror, reflecting her worth. Eleanor doesn't need fleeting charm or a chiseled jaw. She seeks a heart that aligns with hers, someone who laughs at her dry wit, who holds space for her grief, and who treasures the mosaic of her memories. It's emotional compatibility, raw and real, that anchors her pursuit, a reminder that she still matters, that her voice still echoes. Number 2, the call of excitement and new horizons. Now, let's meet Margaret, a spirited woman whose laugh lines tell tales of a life well lived. At 73, her knees might creak, but her spirit dances like it did at 20. For decades, she poured herself into raising 3 children, keeping a meticulous home, and balancing a part-time job at the local library. Duty defined her days. But now, with the kids grown and the house quieter than ever, a restless energy simmers within her. Age may have slowed her step, but it hasn't dimmed her thirst for life. Women like Margaret don't seek men for reckless thrills. They seek them for the spark of something new, a chance to rewrite the script of routine and rediscover the world. Picture Margaret stepping onto a train platform, her suitcase in tow, a gentleman named Henry by her side. They're bound for a coastal town she's never seen, the promise of salty air and crashing waves igniting a flutter in her chest. Or imagine her in a cozy kitchen, flour dusting her apron as she and Henry fumble through a recipe for homemade gnocchi, their laughter filling the room as the dough sticks to their fingers. These aren't wild escapades, they're quiet adventures, shared moments that breathe vitality into her days. A relationship at this age isn't about reclaiming youth. It's about savoring the freedom to explore without the weight of obligation. And yes, romance still whispers to her. Margaret feels it in the way Henry's eyes crinkle when he smiles, or how his hand brushes hers as they stroll through a farmer's market, picking out ripe tomatoes. It's not about stability or starting a family. It's about the pure, unhurried joy of connection. She wants someone who stirs her heart, who makes her feel alive in a way she'd almost forgotten. For women like her, a man isn't just a partner. He's a co-adventurer, a reason to step beyond the familiar and embrace the unexpected. Number 3, emotional healing and second chances. Let's step into Clara's world. At 76, her silver hair falls in soft waves, framing a face that's seen love bloom and wither. Her marriage ended decades ago, a quiet unraveling that left her raising 2 daughters alone. Later, she lost a partner to illness, the grief carving a hollow space she's carried ever since. Yet here she is, her heart still open, her spirit refusing to close the book on love. For Clara, and many women over 70, seeking a man isn't just about romance. It's about healing, about stitching together the frayed edges of a life marked by loss and resilience. By this age, these women have tasted life's bittersweet lessons. They've mourned spouses, weathered divorces, or spent years putting others first. But rather than retreat, they reach forward, driven by a quiet strength to reclaim joy. Clara doesn't chase the fiery passion of her 20s or the fairy tale ideals she once held. She seeks something softer, truer, a companion whose presence feels like a balm. Imagine her sitting across from a man named George at a small cafe, his gentle questions coaxing out stories she hasn't told in years. He doesn't judge the cracks in her past. He sees the light shining through them. For some, this stage offers a rare gift, a second chance. Maybe Clara never knew a love that lifted her up, one free of sacrifice or strain. Now, she can choose differently, a man who brings peace instead of chaos, who values her not for what she does, but for who she is. It's not about rewriting history, it's about building something new, a connection that honors her scars and celebrates her vitality. Seeking companionship becomes an act of courage, a declaration that happiness isn't bound by time, that she deserves it, still, always. Number 4, the quest for intellectual and social stimulation. Meet Lillian, a sharp-witted 71-year-old with a penchant for crossword puzzles and a bookshelf groaning under the weight of history tomes. Her days once buzzed with the chatter of colleagues at the university where she taught, but retirement has hushed that symphony. Now, she sits by her window, the world outside moving too fast to notice her stillness. Yet within her burns a hunger, not just for company, but for conversation, the kind that crackles with ideas and stretches her mind across new terrains. For women like Lillian, Seeking a man over 70 isn't merely about filling silence. It's about igniting the spark of intellectual and social vitality that keeps life vibrant. Picture Lillian at a local book club, her eyes lighting up as a man named Arthur debates the finer points of a Hemingway novel. His voice is steady, his insights seasoned by decades of living. And suddenly, she's not just listening, she's alive in the exchange. They linger after the group disperses, trading thoughts on everything from philosophy to the best way to brew coffee. It's not about romance alone. It's about the thrill of a mind meeting hers, challenging her assumptions, and coaxing out perspectives she hadn't considered. At this age, women like Lillian crave stimulation that transcends the mundane, a partner who can match her curiosity and share in the joy of discovery. Beyond the intellectual, there's the social pulse. Lillian knows the studies. Seniors with rich social ties live longer, laugh louder, and face the years with greater resilience. She's seen friends fade into isolation, their worlds shrinking with each unshared day. But she refuses that fate. A man in her life, whether a friend, a lover, or something in between, becomes a bridge to the world. Imagine them strolling through an art gallery, pausing before a bold canvas as he shares a story from his youth, or sitting on a park bench, dissecting the news with a mix of humor and wisdom. He's not there to complete her. Lillian's life is already full. He's there to enrich it, to break the monotony of routine and weave new threads into her tapestry of experiences. For her, companionship is growth, a chance to keep learning, laughing, and engaging with a world that still has so much to offer. Number 5, the deep desire to feel valued and appreciated. Now, let's walk with Grace, a 74-year-old whose warm smile hides a lifetime of quiet sacrifices. She raised 4 children, nursed ailing parents, and volunteered at her church until her hands ached. Her life has been a gift to others, but too often, she's felt like a shadow in her own story, seen for what she gave, not who she was. At 74, Grace stands tall, her silver curls catching the light, and within her stirs a longing as old as humanity itself, to feel valued. For women like her, seeking a man isn't about dependency or vanity. It's about basking in the glow of being truly seen, cherished for the woman she is today. Imagine Grace at a community dance, her floral dress swaying as a man named Thomas takes her hand. He doesn't just lead her across the floor, he looks into her eyes, marveling at the way they crinkle when she laughs. Later, over a cup of tea, he listens as she recounts a tale from her nursing days, nodding with genuine interest, his quiet, "You're remarkable," lingering in the air. These aren't empty flatteries, they're lifelines, small acts that remind her she's more than a mother, a caregiver, a widow. She's Grace, witty, wise, and worthy of admiration. In her younger years, relationships might have demanded she shrink herself, putting others' needs above her own. Now, she seeks a connection that lifts her up, that honors her journey, and celebrates her presence. This desire isn't about chasing youth or external validation. Grace knows her beauty lies in the lines of her face, the kindness in her voice, the strength in her hands. A man who sees that, who compliments her sharp memory, who delights in her dry humor, who notices the way she hums while gardening, becomes a mirror to her worth. Picture them on her porch, the evening air soft around them, as he shares a memory that makes her laugh until tears brim. It's not obligation driving this bond. It's mutual joy, a dance of appreciation that makes every moment richer. For Grace, and so many women over 70, companionship is a quiet rebellion against being forgotten, a chance to feel desired, not for what she once was, but for the radiant soul she remains. Final thoughts, a tapestry of connection. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a warm glow over these stories, we've unraveled a truth that defies the stereotypes of aging. Women over 70, like Eleanor, Margaret, Clara, Lillian, and Grace, don't seek men to stave off loneliness or cling to the past. They seek them to embrace the present, to weave new chapters of joy, passion, and meaning into lives already brimming with experience. Their pursuit isn't a whisper of desperation. It's a bold declaration that connection, whether through love, laughter, or shared silences, remains a vital thread in the human tapestry, no matter the years. These women have danced through decades, weathering storms and basking in sunlight, and now they claim their right to feel alive. Emotional intimacy keeps them anchored. Adventure sets their spirits free, healing mends their hearts. Intellectual sparks keep their minds ablaze, and appreciation crowns their worth. If you've ever wondered why a woman in her 70s might open her heart anew, look closer. It's because she can, because she deserves to. Love, friendship, and companionship don't dim with age. They grow more precious, distilled by wisdom into something pure and profound. So, what stirs in you as these tales unfold? Did Eleanor's quiet strength surprise you? Did Margaret's zest for life spark a smile? Perhaps you see traces of Clara's resilience in someone you know, or feel Grace's longing echo in your own chest. Share your thoughts below. What moved you today, and how might it ripple into your life? Your voice fuels this journey, inspiring us to keep weaving stories that illuminate and uplift. If these revelations struck a chord, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. This is a conversation worth spreading. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next chapter.